This is Africa talk show. It is time to talk. Bringing sense to the disco for better discussion. Who's the Abraham coming to talk?
Welcome to the TV.
And the vote that coming, the next vote, we have to be careful. Especially me, I will vote trying for people. Black guy, I will vote for black guy. For the country to be set. The vote. Because it will be 3% that will be running.
3% will be running in the coming election.
Yes. We got the vice president with Joe Taylor. Then we got the president Joe Weah. Then Joseph Boakai. It's a 3% that will be running. Actually, that will know about then. You got me? But the size, my only side that we really taking the end. The whole country will take it. It will be Joseph Boakai.
So what you really seeing now? Tell what really making you vex in the voting?
What making you vex? The country is looking better. Yeah.
You saw the country looking bad. How you looking bad?
Fine. Thing that we not seen before. We seen it.
What do you see now?
Fine. We never see anything that they say my close church. We never see anything that they say my close school. Do not hold one another hand. You got me?
I got you.
I didn't go there. We never hear that one day. The people were there, vice president, they say he's sleeping with here. We never hear that one day. You got me?
I got you.
The reason my point that I hate you on is one of my point there.
So you not believe in the coronavirus thing?
Actually, I can't even tie my nose. No signal that can hold me. I believe no signal that can hold me.
But people dying in America.
I don't have problem with them. America people, they do what they're not supposed to do, they do it.
What did they do?
Fine. They're there, they're taking the man to be with a woman.
A BD now that you talking about?
You getting me? They're taking men and to be that woman. It's not supposed to be that they want to find out beyond God.
So that ain't making them sick.
What they dying for? They die. The one thing against the black people. The black people not dying the way the white people dying over there.
But if they say they bring medicine. They bring medicine from Madagascar. They say that country medicine, people must take it.
It's a pure lie. I look at the medicine and said, yeah. Even the food they said they're talking about, you can't hear. We have medicine, day, fasting. My people can't take it.
That's why you telling your people they must not take it.
That's why I'm telling my people they're not taking it. They're not taking it. They're not taking it. They're not taking it. They're not taking it.
So the Yaka Koluba ni what really made you get a Nina?
I'm a society man.
Ah.
Yes. I'm a society man.
So what do you mean of Koluba?
Fine.
Many Liberians, not some, in the diaspora, they push cartoon like everyone else, come up in the evening and write trash. Stanton Witherspoon, the CEO, cartoon pusher. Get the feel about it? Cartoon pusher. Then, cartoon pusher. They call themselves Association of Liberian Journalists in America. Have you seen it on CNN? Have you seen it on Fox News? You can be sitting in America, you just eating burger and be talking all kind of things. It's not fair. I'm out of government now.
On the murder of our son. For us, our family, it was murder. We have reached the conclusion that our son was murdered. We're not accepting any suicide. Our son was murdered. And we are only here so that government can be able to tell us why he was murdered and who murdered him.
Who was Melvin prior to his death?
Melvin was a gentle giant. Melvin was very lovable, kind, funny, gentle. Melvin was everybody's friend. That's who Melvin was. A gentle giant.
What was your last interaction with Melvin prior to his death?
The last interaction with Melvin was on the phone. Before Melvin left to go up on the tour with the president, he called, and that was a tradition he had. He called his grandmother and asked for prayer. He did that all the time. And that was the last time he called and he was going on the tour with the president and we should pray for him. That was the last time. That was the last time.
You earlier spoke about raising Melvin, helping to raise Melvin. What sort of child did you know him from his childhood to be?
Melvin lost his mother when he was under 3 years old. So we raised Melvin, his mother's family, we raised him. His mother was the sister between two of us. She was next to me. And Melvin, we raised him in that family in a Christian home. This is the first cousin right here. All of these kids were raised together. Melvin had never had any problem. He was raised as a normal child. Loving and caring. That's who Melvin was. And when he became a young man, he went into the world with the same attitude. Today, you will see people talking about Melvin all over. They will give you that character of Melvin. That's why when people come to us and tell us that,
for now we eat the water, Omega water. For now the whole Omega the water. We eat the water, Opopo eat the water. We vote for it 2023 again. We vote for Opo because it go in the water. For now everybody said it in the water. Oh, and the water we said it in for now. 2023 we vote for it again. For now we eat the water. For now we eat the water. We eat the water. We eat the water for now. For now we eat the water. Oh, better Liberia. Better Liberia. The Lord and waiting Omega. The Lord and waiting Omega. For now we eat the water. We eat the water.
Question on gay rights. And I've answered this question, and perhaps not too elegantly. And I've used the words that I'm conflicted by this issue, but let me explain why. Let me explain what I mean by that. It's a lifestyle that I struggle with. As important, though, I believe, Liberians are also focused on health, education, jobs, and I also want us to focus the conversation on those issues.
You think the answer to that question the right way?
I don't know if that's
it's a very sensitive.
It's a very sensitive issue, and I don't know if that's
there was a strict with youth support is something that you would,
Mamadi, I think I've answered the question the way I'm comfortable answering it. And again, I gotta be authentic to who I am. There will be a political answer that people will perhaps want to hear, but I gotta be real, Alex, and I want the Liberian people to see the real person, and that I will not change my answer to suit
different
situations. I think that's the kind of leader, we should be, looking for.
Okay.
Question on gay rights. And I've answered this question, and perhaps not too elegantly. And I've used the words that I'm conflicted by this issue, but let me explain why. Let me explain what I mean by that. It's a lifestyle that I struggle with. As important, though, I believe, Liberians are also...
Including all those stupid Steve want to call Eugene Fagon. He started telling her, owing. Yeah, I want to owe you, rogue like you, criminal like you. You don't have to beg somebody to release you from court, to withdraw your case from court. That you don't want to tell your people that you're idiots, say I owe you money. Many days we went to club. I don't know who used to buy you beer. You want me to name some of the places that buy you beer, idiot, stupid, useless, reckless, irresponsible man like you? Now people that know you can respect you. You are David Colette. That other one, that show, not pay one. We all went to NASCAR.
Law. Nobody followed the rule of
So why was we a technical director of the Lone Star under Taylor? He was supporting a lawless administration, or he just has no values?
No, let's talk about the government.
He was technical director.
Let's talk about the government.
Let's talk about you making $20,000 sitting in America. You don't even do any work at any ministry. You make $20,000. We have the transfer papers. What about that? Is that consistent with the rule of law? Which part of the PFM law are we reading from that they're paying you $20,000 on a monthly basis? How do you feel when you hear people crying about hunger in Monrovia when you are making $20,000 that you don't work a day in your life for?
Okay.
So you want to talk to me about rule of law? You're so far away. You and rule of law, you're going in separate directions.
No, let's talk about this now.
No, let's talk about your $20,000. Maybe you want to start with an apology for living off the Liberian people without doing the work. Why don't you start there? Say, I apologize for accepting $20,000 from the government to sit on spoon and politicize the suffering of my country. Apologize for that. Then I'll see you a credible questioner that I can have a decent conversation with.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll have to deal with you just because you're on spoon.
But you see, and I know you want to the sway of the
no, but I'll be answering your question. Why are you being paid $20,000? But why are you being paid $20,000? Seriously, $20,000 US. How do you feel justified?
Let me name them. You see, Magio and someone they are the king Juju people. Or you mean that the other people that play with Juju? You see, Finabono. You see, Tokompui. Tokompui and Finabono. Tokompui has one ball with him that he brought from Africa Coast. It is that ball that he's saying, that's why every year, every 3 months, that ball will go Africa Coast. That begin to go Africa Coast will go bring Juju for Toko and Finabono. I will give you more detail on this. While Liberians are suffering in Monrovia, they ain't got food to eat. This lady sent $10,000 United States every month, every year, every month to his daughter in America. Then they get live a lavish life. You go to New Jersey, those that live in New Jersey will attest to what I'm saying. You know, we're not saying these things because we want to give. I want nothing from nobody. But it is about time that the life of the people who struggle with us, the Liberian people who stood, the people who printed their own t-shirt, who bowed their heads, who laid on the floors, who went into the trenches with President George Weah. It is about time that those people begin to benefit and reap what they saw in what is called the revolution that brought the CDC to power. That's all we want. That's all we want. That's all we want. That's all we ask for. Every one of them around the president. So sometimes yeah, President Weah is messing up, but he's confused. They have put the president in the juju part. Finabono deals directly with the wife of Smith Towe, who is a cook to the president. She brings the dust, give it to this woman, the woman put it in the food. And then, so by the time the president eat that food, the president can be half of Finabono. Everything Finabono say is fine. Which chief of protocol will slap the first lady and go scot-free? Nothing happened to her. Chief of protocol slap first lady. Nothing happened. Who will do that in this day and time? Donald Trump said that people will say he got problem. His wife, nobody can do that to his wife. But Finabono did it to the first lady, right here in Monrovia. Right here in Monrovia. Right here in Monrovia. What do you think she depends on? She does it because she has put the president in a corner that absolutely the president can do nothing by himself. They have all buried this president. The pastors, what are you doing? Bishop Winker, you are the godfather for this man. This man is dying slowly. You're playing from way. You're thinking of some people making here. You're thinking of some people making here. The Liberty ministry, Overcomer ministry, what are you doing? Bishop, what are you doing? What are you people doing? The Redeemed Church. What is the church in Liberia doing? What are you doing? It is about time that
Thank you very much, our listening audience. Thank you very much for coming on. I mean, let me start with my co-host. Go ahead.
Yeah, today is another blessed day, and we appreciate God for bringing us to the day, and we are there, and we also appreciate you for joining us. But I think Liberia is just getting fascinating on a daily basis. Our entire government has turned into a gossip basket. I don't even find any serious person right now, from the president all the way down, because we don't know who to listen to at this point. And I think this is a serious matter. This is a really, really serious matter, and this is one of the fundamental reasons why those of us that support the JNB, that we need to move forward. We either form part of the collaboration that will be workable, or we go solo in order to deliver our people from this abject poverty.
Mercy Massacre, how you doing?
Abject poverty in terms of everything: policy, development, planning. There is nothing. Everybody just, they bring to go in if they want to. Don't want to go. Everybody sit and play Ludo. It is sad.
But there is a serious allegation here. Some of the allegations, yes, it's true, that Nathaniel Falomage is playing with medicine, according to JB Boima. That is true. That is not something that I can say, let me go investigate it. That is true. He is talking about Finabono, that Finabono taking 10,000 every month, sending it to Hadara. That indeed is true. That Finabono dealing with Smith Toby, as he used to be monitoring OKFM. Smith Toby, who from OK, Smith Toby's wife, she is the cook for the president. So according to JB Boima, that woman, she is, putting a juju and there's not in a dish. So that is one side of the story. But actually, what have caught my attention and I have come here to do, I want for us to look at a few things that are happening in the government. As I'm convinced, President Weah is drastically mad. President Weah, according to reliable source, that President Weah is seriously mad with Nathaniel Falomage. According to reliable source, that the president is mad. What in 2013, in 2020, they never won a seat, and in 2021, there's gone by elections. The president is mad with Nathaniel Falomage, but he is waiting for Nathaniel Falomage to recover. As you may be aware, Nathaniel Falomage has been flown to Ghana.
So he's staying in Ghana?
Yeah, he's staying in Ghana, taking treatment, because, when you're dealing with medicine too much, that's what can happen. Some kind of stupid signal can kick you. But let's look at the issue here that they're spending. You know, many of time, we were stating on the talk show, that the vice president, now it has been confirmed. It has been confirmed that the VP actually put on herself. That indeed has been confirmed. That indeed it has been confirmed, but there are so-called media that the vice president put on herself. That one has been confirmed. So this is the reason why we're telling our audience, for them to be able to build interest in us, because women will bring a breaking news, that indeed it is breaking. It was their platform that we were able to highlight that the vice president put on herself. Whether it was medicine, whether it was her bladder weak, whether it was what, we don't know, and we don't want to know. But all we wanted to know, all we wanted to inform our audience, that the vice president put on herself. Now, you know, what do you make of ACO? I think former minister of finance taking over.
Lieutenant Kamara?
Yes.
Before I go to ACO, first and foremost, I want to say, I think if the president is my way, the state minister, Natana Magay, I think that would be a misdirection. Because Natana Magay does not control the CDC ruling party. And from all indication, when it comes to campaign, based on real political system and political party leadership, the party leadership should be taking the responsibility of.
You think it is the party leadership? Josh Manangwea and the party leader, the party chairman, they cannot even speak. Do you know that?
That is one of the fundamental reasons why they were not even very sure of putting candidates on the ballot with CDC logo. And let me quote Eugene Fagon. On Spoon Talk, Eugene Fagon said CDC were playing some casino politics. And Spoon people asking, what do you mean about casino politics? That they were not very sure of their own people. So they were liaising with some disgruntled seditions that left CDC party and some other independent guy, hoping that when they win, then they will caucus with them in the House. But the larger part of it, this is the myopic aspect of George Weah and his cronies. If you don't want somebody at the level of the party just because they did their job and they said the truth to you, you know, the best thing you can do the system with Machiavelli theory. Do everything to grab and do everything to maintain. If you don't want the party leader for whatever reason, Mobile Moru getting out. Use the executive committee to get him out. But from all indication, if the party is not functioning well, already the government is not functioning very well, then the government almost have reached to a point of group of looters. They got no direction because they're not talking about policy. You will find out former city mayor get and go to city hall, everybody get in a car, they're doing like they're playing football, people come, you know, it's just laughable. To be honest with you, on the issue of ACO, I think ACO have come to realize that they've been dormant from the political perspective, because we all know we had 13 presidential candidates in 1997. Charles Taylor came first. He won the election in 1997, followed by the Unity Party, Ellen Johnson Sedi, number 2, and then Alhaji J.V. Kromah, number 3 from ACO. And since that time, I understand 2005, I'm not too sure they produced any candidate. I stand to be corrected. But since that time, they have been flipping around, supporting this side and that side. But I think they have come to realize that they have a consistent, quote-unquote, Mandingo block, which is not a problem. Because our politics is also tribal, and it has some ethnicity that also go with that. People might say, oh no, but that is a fact. There are parties that are associated with tribes. For example, the Liberty Party, the Perception, and what we see there, Dominant Bassa People Party. When you see Unity Party, yeah, it's from all over people there. Of course, the ACO is a Mandingo Party, quote unquote. Don't hold me responsible. That is why it is. The entire freeway, and even if you went to Ganta, for example, majority of the places you see local businesses booming, they are all Mandingo business in Otakun. So I think it is a good flavor for our political dynamic, so that those parties have been dormant to rebrand themselves and to see what role they can play, especially what we see right now. From the political analysis coming from 1997, 2005, coming to today with this successive runoff, I don't see any single political party winning election in Liberia soon, because either way we do it, when you do the political math, it will be extremely difficult for a single party to win 50% plus one vote. So I think the wake-up call and the rebrandings of the All Liberian People Party, ACO, I think we should all welcome it, and I think that this could be a very good political game changer for ACO to rebrand itself and coming on board with Rosoni Kamara, former Minister of Finance.
For me, I'm looking at it differently. Because when you want to run a political party, it is good for you to run a political party with someone with distinct character, someone who have been contributing to the growth and development of the root of that party. Have Losini Kamara been doing that? I said no. Losini Kamara is deeply involved in massive corruptions, which I can name here. Losini Kamara was finance minister at the time. They stole our resources. They stole our resources. Losini Kamara came to effect because of law forces. She would say that because he is Mandingo and I am Mandingo, so we should be able to build that sentiment? No. I don't think so. As Losini Kamara sponsor any young man for his education sojourn, that indeed that the person should be educated and come back. You know what the Hausa did in Nigeria in 1994? The Hausa, when you born four children, one go in the matter, the three, they will sponsor the three will go in foreign land to go educate themselves. 10 years, Hausa, look at the Hausa today in Nigeria. 10 years, look at the Hausa today. So for me personally, I don't support Losini, because Losini is not a direct link. Losini is not a clean hand bearer, as we can say. And you're saying that you know that what you say about Unity Party. Unity Party was funded by Mandingo people, Bien Keseli. Okay, so that was the reason why Ellen went and appointed Bien Keseli Jr. for that was in recognition to the contribution of his late father, Edward Bien Keseli Sr. So you see, when these crooks and these dooms, when they come to the political timeline, they want to get political fuel, then they claim onto leadership that they want for people to see that as a messiah. People are talking about Ali Sila. Oh, are you forgetting about Ali Sila too? Ali Sila, who duped Unity Party because of Robert Salif wanted to contest. Ali Sila mafiately took money from Robert Salif. He came in PA, in Pennsylvania. He realized that in the name of his sake, he's not feeling well. Are those guys are the legitimate people today that our Madingo brothers see? That they say that yes, we want for us to be a member of ACO because ACO is a representation of the Madingo people? No. No. And every political party should not just be on that basis. No. So I personally, I disagree with the entire formation of the entire executive of the ACO. Because now people are saying now today that they want to make at least that chairman of ACO. Is that unlaughable? At least that. Yeah, go ahead.
I think, Mr. Kamara, when it comes to corruption in our country, it has become a kind of national pandemic.
JNB
It is not just
corrupt.
unique. It is not just unique to a single person. It has been going on from the foundations of our country, 1822, coming all the way to this side, and we have not come up with a kind of tangible empirical framework to be able to tackle the issue of corruption. For example, if we were to calculate on a dollar basis and cents, look at the government of Eli Johnson Sirleaf, for example. The executive mansion, according to what the media told, got on fire July 26, 2006. How come the executive mansion renovation of a single floor, or let's say the entire building, has taken longer time and got more budgetary allotment, more than the total cost of the mansion when it was built new? Okay, so when it comes to impunity in our country, economic, social, and political, it's kind of a national pandemic. And the reasons why we continue to see quote-unquote bad people surface into our political landscape is because of impunity, national impunity. We have not been able to prosecute people and bring it to book to send a signal to the rest of the country and the world. If you can remember recent time, the American ambassador accredited near Monrovia said his government was tired with Liberia. My brother, I think I am not trying to defend. Like, there are people that say, in fact, our people just living within us. Liberians will tell you the person who stole money and built homes for themselves and their family, they're okay. At least they kept it in Liberia. But those who steal money and send it to America or maybe send it outside Liberia, they are the bad people. Because we are not prosecuting anybody. But let me tell them for free. As long as you take money that is intended for public good, whether you take it for yourself and keep it in Liberia or you send it outside Liberia, stealing that stealing. Corruption that corruption. Under no condition that executive mansion have been under renovation for almost 16 years. Every single budget, including the one that they're talking about, executive mansion renovation money is there. And we know what happened in Liberia. And Lebanese people are very good at it. You get them project, you put money there, you go after that money, they're going to be there, government go, government can. You see that? Look at the Vigo Judy Bryan purchase, for example. When we got to it, he said he take responsibility. Look at the issue of Brenny Samuka. The soldiers' money that was used for the soldiers to outgoing president, incoming president talk about it. The incoming president put some money in the budget for that particular money that was used for the soldier. But then they turn around to prosecute Brendan Samuka for it. That's political corruption, using our legal framework as a cover-up. I mean, this thing has been existing from yesterday all the way to today. What we can do, we got to do a comprehensive review of our system in terms of legal institution and the way we do things. We got good laws, but we do not practice our laws, especially when the big guys are involved. The little guys go to jail. The big guys, they get free. So that's how I see it. So look at our political space. In a democratic environment like here in America, people like Eddie will not be president.
Yeah, but
okay, you're not even staying in there.
Yeah, but my thinking, somebody saying here that Unity Party is not a tribal. I'm not saying that Unity Party is a tribal party, but we're founded by being Kizili. That's what I have to say. You know, for the fact that Mr. Lucini Kamara or Kane or Kamara, which of the kind, Mr. Lucini came into power by law forces. That indeed put a dark cloud on him. Don't you think so?
I wouldn't want to say yes, I wouldn't want to say no, because Kabina Janet was an executive member of Laura and he became member of our judicial system.
Kabina Janet was appointed by Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
Yes.
And then it left with the Senate to confirm him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Lieutenant Kamara was not appointed.
No. If you're getting it wrong. You're getting it wrong. Kabina Janet was appointed by the transitional government as their Lord Judicial nominee. Roseni was also appointed as Lord Judicial, not Judicial, but Minister of Finance nominee. So he stayed on when Ellen King, she reappointed him. I mean, Kabina Janet, that was kept him on the bench.
No.
Because we had a transitional arrangement before Ellen came in, and it was a power sharing.
Yeah, be appointed as a traditional nominee, judiciary nominee. That is different from being on a Supreme Court bench. You agree with me?
Because he was reappointed when the Constitution took effect on January 16,
okay, so that is different. That is quite different from Lieutenant Kamara. You agree with me on that?
No, I don't want to agree with you because Lieutenant Kamara and Kabina Janet came from the same organization that kill our people.
Okay,
which is the opposite.
So to me, Lieutenant Kamara does not stand at the moral ground for him to say that he want to chair, he want to be the arrowhead for that party. That's my point.
But if we go back to fundamental framework of our Constitution, which is freedom of association and freedom of friendship, whatever you call it, all of us, including Lieutenant Kamara, Sekou Kone, who was also the leader of Laura, he said he wanted to be president, right? Liberian people decided not to elect him. I think this issue should be left with the membership of ACO to make that decision. But everybody got it right, including Prince Johnson, that killed another president on camera.
Yeah, but that's the reason why Libra is not moving foul. Because people know that we should be prosecuting, those are the people that are janging around with state power. Those are the people that are janging around, that want to be our state representative, that want to be our state senator, that want to be our state president or president of the country. So that's what I'm saying. My argument is not based on, my argument is based on Lucini. Our discussion tonight is based on Lucini.
So you party and perfectly agree with me now. We Liberians, majority, we do not shame people for doing wrong. But what we do, we glorify bad people. And that is the reasons why it has become like a normal thing to do in Liberia. It has become a normal thing in Liberia that bad people always surface and bad people always succeed. Because what? We don't shame them, we don't prosecute them, and they continue to masquerade. And we're not going to solve it now and not going to stop as long as we keep it going with the issue of impunity. Until we can start to take care of people, like people take care of the system, take care of people in America. It don't have to be like America. If we could do 15-25% in our country, I think that country will be better. Until we can do that, we're going to see a million more Lieutenant Kamara. Charles Taylor said, when you get rid of me, you're going to have many more Charles Taylor. And it is for sure. We got a lot of Charles Taylor. And there are a lot of Charles Taylor coming if we don't change.
All right. Let's look at the people entering the country today. JNB entering the country today. It was catastrophic. It was encouraging. Before we play you the clips, I want for us to go over JNB visit. Or his visit. How do you see JNB visit to the United States overall?
I think JNB had a good visit. Overall, very good visit, fabulous and rewarding, especially meeting with high-level state government officials across the United States, and according to some inside sources, he was being also called by some members of the U.S. government. And all I can say, the game that he made abroad there for the first visit as a presidential candidate for 2023 should be built upon return. That building should start with empirical and practical conversation regarding the CPP. We either move forward or we divorce. All right? And we need to free our country from the hands of a group of looters and criminals in disguise, call themselves officials of government. You see the gossip? We don't have a government right now in Liberia. We do not have a government. It's a group of looters, state looters, that call themselves government or governors. That's what I get to say about that.
You know, for me, a local JME visit to be well attended. I mean, when he came to PA in Pennsylvania, as informed, I mean, JMB was able to meet with a black caucus. You know, Pennsylvania, PA have been a black state, wherein during the Atlanta slave trade, when the black used to escape, it is Pennsylvania that they used to go. When they enter in PA, they was classified as free. Nobody had the guts to arrest them. That is the reason why the blacks are many in Pennsylvania. So Jamie visit here in Minneapolis. It was terrific. It was well attended. And I look at Jamie visit to Arizona. Jamie visit to Arizona. Jamie was able to make a lot of deals, lot of bull he was able to grab by the horn. So, but let me hold you there. Let us not dive into that too much. Let us play you the clip.
Thank you very much. God bless you very much.
All members of a team that was sent to me, I listened to those remarks carefully. I listened to the people in the audience. I read the remarks under his, under the posting. And Mr. Vice President, I must admit, you made us proud. Leaders are born, and it takes experience. Mr. President,
Before we have response from the ambassador, just saying my brother will go on the culture of truth. Peter, to give a response.
People for him and so I don't know what to do. Almighty God, Almighty, my mercy on you. Follow it, you are our protection. Whatever people do not go easy. Follow your own self. Only your Holy Spirit will carry you. And
Love what right there. You know, the musical Madrid, these guys, they always remind me of our dating UL. They always remind me, these guys are talented. But
they are very talented. I wish they can support. Oh, man.
Yeah, I keep your call coming out on 215-824-8124 or 267-938-2801. That is the number to call. Oh, you better hold your peace, because when it's a dead man, will do. And keep your call coming on. For the father, you don't want to be a dead man, so place your call right now on 267-938-2801 or 215-824-8124. That is the number to call for you to be part of the discussion tonight. JNB, let's take our very first caller. Caller, what is the name and where are you calling from?
AB, this is First Lieutenant Johnson from Philadelphia.
Are you speaking to your phone or you have this phone on speaker?
It was not on speaker. You hear me now?
Yeah, you much better. Go ahead.
Okay. I think I'm a little bit away from it. Okay, I enjoyed the music you are playing just now, but I just want to go back to, I thank you for getting a co-host now, my brother in the studio there. I bless God for you guys.
Yeah.
But this is what I want to say into when you were talking about your brother, that was a finance minister, and this guy goes in there, they steal enough, and they leave the country bleeding. It's not like my brother was saying, or Mr. Duna was saying that Liberia have never had impunity in Liberia. Then we forget. We killed 12 people. I stood there. I saw those people being shot on Sawbridge. Nothing else but for corruption. I can show you this today. Even if Joseph Barker are our support, if Joseph Barker start to corrupt the nations, Liberians should march on Joseph Barker to let him step down. Liberians need to stand up at this time to this board of.
But Liberians are not noted for standing up for their right. The thing that they should be standing up for, they are not noted for doing that.
But we need to stand up for them.
Look at the country. Look at the country currently, as the international. Yeah.
Baby, you can see.
God, I'm coming to you. Just so I'm coming to you.
Afraid. When I go on the radio in Lakbasi, she'll be afraid. And I told her, I said, if I die for the truth, I'll die for the truth. We need to stand and make this boy to even step down. He's corrupt already. 12 Liberians were killed. We were young people. I saw this in my face to face. Okay? The people that killed them, though them were more corrupt than the people they killed.
Aha,
And
now
we
you
cannot
got the
stand
story.
and speak out and say, oh, Liberian,
That is why it is.
we can't punish people that corrupt. And so, what about the 12 people that killed? That's why Liberia is going down the drain, because those people's soul is crying every day, every minute. Anytime Liberian men corrupt anything in Liberia going to go down. We need to stand up. We got to bring back those people's soul back to make sure that if you take this job, you take $1, will hunt you down. Your life is at the online. I will tell you, Liberia will have a better government.
No, JNB says something. JNB says something. He said when there's a CC camera, or around in various ministries, or around to the airport, he said the first person to take bribe. He said when they prosecute that first person, he said the rest of the people will be telling their friend. He said, look.
I think we need to amend our constitution, AB. We need to put this in our constitution. When you steal the country money, there's nothing to say just put you in jail and go free because you got money. That you'll be killed, and the 12 people that have been killed because of corruption. You will see that everything will be seizing.
But if you look at it really well, do you think that the top opponent that was killed, do you think that this people they were worth to be killed? Do you think so?
But this is what I'm saying.
It was a political allegation
because of corruption, right? Because the only thing I told Liberia, I'm going to set an example in the whole of Africa. Because before I left Liberia, before I came to the States, I thought Liberia was Mama Africa. I was in America when the Civil War started over there. I said the whole Africa is at war, because every nation in Africa, you could find 1 or 2 persons from this country, from that country in Liberia. Okay, and kill those people, then the same people turn around and brought in corruption, and then from that time, the CDC declaring anywhere on national TV is our time to chop. When you start killing them openly for corruption, try them and kill them, they will stop, instead of killing our sons and daughters unborn.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave you guys. Somebody else is going to call. Bye.
Thank you.
Like the quarter is saying, do you perhaps agree with him?
Maybe I agree with that man, but you know why? You know my takeaway from there? 1980, the allegation was false. Go back and read it. People who were accused by the government denied the very people legal representation in court. It was a junta system. It was a junta system. One soldier sitting down, just sending people to
junta because it was not.
From the basis of civil war, I do not consider that. But let's go back. The very people that did that in the name of political, social, and economic corruption, when they took power, what did they do? They suspended the constitution for 5 years, thinking that they could do better. They didn't do better. They divided the country on tribal lines. They divided the country on region, and they started snitching people and killing people behind closed doors. They didn't stop there. They walked out of their cars. They walked out of their offices, their junta offices, and followed children and murdered them and got the country where it is. I don't call that. They didn't stop there. They went into the Constitution of 1986, specifically Article 98. They put in there that all of them that did that, they should not be tried in any competent court of jurisdiction in Liberia and outside Liberia. That was the most massive corruption and unfortunate thing that happened to our country. I don't call that punishing people. They punish the wrong people, even those that run away for their life. Like this guy, Frank Turbo, that went to French embassy. They follow him. He didn't have no trial, even though those who were tried by the junta did not have any legal representation. They didn't have no say there. They were the general Gabo, they say in the post-tacket. That was unfortunate. We are part of the civilized nation today. I will not support any killing anybody today, especially capital punishment. But you know what? We can do something. We need to create a framework under this system, this technological war. When people steal, they be held accountable. Political corruption, bringing all your family into the government. Like, for example, I worked as Minister of Foreign Affairs for 7-8 years before I came here. There was a protocol on the book that before you can go to foreign service, you got to be working here. And besides that, you got to go to Foreign Service Institute. There's a diplomatic school at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yes.
Okay? That you go there for 9 months. When you graduate, they certificate you are a possible standby for diplomatic posting, foreign service, let's call it that way. Even this government, even any government, they broke that protocol. How can a man be minister or deputy minister and they're sending their girlfriend, even the director general of that Foreign Service Institute, married to a small girl and they send her abroad? They're taking people from Soniwe and they send them to Washington. They take people from Nurkutan, West Point, and send them to New York. You see that? That is corruption. You offer people our diplomatic scholarship on the back of the government and send them to Morocco, send them to send some of them here, other part of the world. They return, another government take over, nobody get job, they boot everybody out. You see maritime? That's under corruption right there. I can name it endlessly. Like the brother said, we were little babies when they killed those people falsely. And what did they do? They got the country to where it is today. And that's why this generation, we got to stand our ground. We got to stand our ground. If we don't stand our ground, we already done. But our unborn generation going to even have bigger trouble. The country need to go back. We need to go back and rewrite our policy. Or what on the board we need to make sure we implement it in principle. That's the only way corruption going to be. And just to conclude on this topic, AB, bulk of the problem comes from the head. When your hair is rotting, based on natural signs, you get headache. You don't do anything straight. And that's how the government looking, especially African governments. Liberia being the case study. Our Lord President George Weah is corrupt. Everybody corrupt.
Yeah, but
you cannot prosecute somebody when you are part of the problems. How can the president come to power in less than 90 days? He owns everything that he got in the country today. And talking about prosecuting people. When they were parading that little boy there, the 17, 19 years old little boy, I saw, anti-corruption icon. I said, but how can you do that? You need to declare your assets. You should not be thinking about your family's security. What are you scared of? Everything you own today is for you, that your own money. Why you didn't declare it before taking on? You see that? So it's going to be extremely difficult when you have a president that owns almost the entire country and nobody can ask him any question. You think you're going to have an independent judiciary? You're not going to have an independent judiciary when the chief justice was threatening to preside over Kabina Janet case and they created a kangaroo court and they boot him out, and we got a solicitor general today that said on Spoon Talk, even though Kabina Janet went to ECOWAS court and the court ruled in his favor, the solicitor general said government of Liberia ain't going to pay a dime. You see that? If that was a little boy, you'll go to jail. And that's a problem. We need a better presidential leadership. Better quality presidential leadership. Leading by example. And Joshua is not going to be able to do that. And the only way we're going to get that resolved, all of us need to go to the ballot box 2023 and elect Joe Walker. That's what we need to do. And give him a try.
That where comes the problem that I'm talking about. You see, we Liberians want to wait for an election before we can be able to make a change. No. You see, Burkina Faso, the people of Burkina Faso, the poor German want money. They told Blaise Compaoré, say, you're not sleeping here today. Blaise Compaoré took it for a joke. They told him, they say, you're not sleeping in this, our country today, you're not sleeping here. The people went to the Zanameri. The people, when they burned the first car, the cry started to intensify. Through that, you know what Blaise Compaoré did? Blaise Compaoré ordered a jet for him to be escorted to Africa. You saw Tunisia, the Arab Spring.
Yep.
We Liberians, you saw South Africa. The South Africans, they told their president, they say, hey, you are corrupt. You cannot be. Julius Malema told you, say, you cannot be talking to me when you are corrupt. First of all, you need to resign from your office. They put it behind you until you resign. So that is the stand. We don't need to wait for an election. We don't need to wait for 6 years. 6 years is too way magically long. 6 years is a long time. That will give 6 years to an individual for him to acquire all the wealth for himself and his family. Then we can now go to the ballot box. We even vote that man have the guts for him to remain in power. The best thing is for us to be able to stand up for riots, for us to be able to peacefully assemble. But who the Liberian today that able to do that? Not a single one. Because the moment they get there, as soon as they fire one tear gas, you see them running helter-skelter, then they dissolve that group.
But you know the reason for that, AB? Let me tell you something. For those of us who are political scientists, I believe in three theories.
Keep your call coming on 215-824-8124 or 267-938-2801. Go ahead.
I believe in Thomas Hobbes theory, the state of nature, the English political philosopher that talk about the establishment of government. And when they ask him why, he say because society is nasty. And there should be a neutral body. And that neutral body happens to be government. To provide a balance between the weak and the strong. Then Jean Rousseau came and talked about revolution. John Locke came and talked about democracy. So, the democracy is what we got now for the most part of the world. But Jean Rousseau theory changed the story. That's what brought about revolution. Jean said it's not just about regular elections, but what happened between those elections. If he misbehave, if the electorate under the social contract theory gave you 5 years, and within the 5 years, after 1 year or 2 years, you misbehave, we should boot you out by force. But before we can get to that point, we got to give theory number 1 a chance to work. If it doesn't work, we'll go to theory number 2. And that's why you see people protest. If we protest, that's John Locke theory. It is our right to protest if you're not doing it right. And the problem about that, AB, is that most constitutions around the world, it is ensured in most constitutions around the world that all power is inherent in the people. If our happiness is not ensured by those that govern our state because we surrender our political rights to them, then of course we the people have the right to alter their operation. Now, South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, some of these countries, especially South Africa, because I did a lot of research on the ANC when I was in school 10, almost 12 years ago. The political culture in South Africa, we do not have that kind of political culture in Liberia. We got a small institution that have that kind of culture, which is SUP, the Vanguard Student Unification Party, on the campuses of the University of Liberia. A SUP go to convention and elect you as the standard bearer is almost automatic. Somebody might argue it, but let it go. You become the student leader on that campus. When the ANC go to work in South Africa and elect their standard bearer, the other group of political parties, they don't even survive it. You are the president. Okay? So now, South Africans don't really need to protest. They don't really need to demonstrate. They just use their executive committee to call the president to book. If the president does not adhere to that, then of course the executive committee will take a decision or they go to General Assembly. It's done. we do not have a sustainable, vibrant political institution in our country. Every single political party is owned and funded by an individual. For example, CDC, for example, the Unity Party, Charles Taylor Party, the NPP. Look at the party that led the country for 127 years. The two-week party, we don't hear about them anymore. Their beauty is turning, government took over, they can't even fix it too. Okay? So we don't really have vibrant, well-managed, sustainable political institution for us to be able to do that. Until we can get to these fundamental frameworks in terms of our political arena, our public policy, our judicial system, Liberia going to continue to be the way that we're just going to keep talking. But while we're talking, consulting our people, we need to support, institutions instead of supporting individuals. And I think that's a bigger problem. You got political parties in Liberia that don't even pay dues. Political party leaders don't even take pay. They are paid from the pockets of people that believe in them. That's it. And until we can get that done, can you imagine? NPP had a property on 5th Street and they sold it to Lebanese men. They sold it to Lebanese men. The front view of it, they give it to Total. They go and rent small house in Congo Town. You see that? We all know disrespect to anybody. It was on the news that Unity Party and their their landlord also have problem. Former ruling party for 12 years. CDC people have problem with banana too. But now they took power, now they ain't got no problem because they got free money to pay their rent. Okay? Former ruling party too, NDPL, they were renting on top of one store. On top of one store. Okay, so it is just unacceptable, AB. This generation, we have a responsibility. And I think we are doing our own already. We have a responsibility to do better. Even the ANC thing going, everything is just on the shoulder of Alexander Cummings. You see that? So, my brother, it's a hard talk. It's a hard talk. Those of us who are members of the COP, similar stuff. The COP trying. We are not being controlled by one person. Okay? But we too, we're not even paying our dues on time. And you can't do it like that. If you do it like that, institution will not work. And the person who tried to bring that kind of sanity to our political culture in Liberia was Wilmore Pay. According to behind the scene conversation, Wilmore Pay wanted Ellen to be expelled before the 2011 election. And majority of the political stakeholders inside the Unity Party, they said, "My man, you can't bring that talk here." But it was real. Liberians, we don't like the truth. We don't like reality. By the time you say it, they say you're radical. And that's what's happening to Mobile Maru right now. He said the truth. Now they have a problem with it.
Yeah,
how do we go forward?
You see, and I strongly believe what you're saying made a lot of sense. But let us be able to look at it, right? I am saying, look, in order for ACO and other political parties to come with clean hands, they should produce a clean candidate. That is my point. My point is, what bring Lucene Kamara, what have lived up to our fatherland days? What bring him to our political timeline?
That's a fundamental right, I would say.
What bring Lucene Kamara, who is corrupt, who have stolen sufficiently our people's resources, what bring him to the timeline? What bring this man to the timeline? This man who was supported by our Lord, that came into our country through the killing of our fellow comrades and compatriots. So keep a call coming out on 215-824-8124 or 267-938-2801. That is the number to call or forever hold your peace. Yeah.
You know the best people that can answer that question, AB? The voters. Political parties can bring whoever they want to bring. For example, in the midst of all the saga with Musa Belede, Liberty Party people look at him and making their chairman, right? And you know what happening in Liberty Party right now? Corrupt people will always go, they will shine and they will devour people and they will bring instability. That's what they do. And that's how they continue to rule. You see Ellen Johnson said it? Under normal circumstances, normal country, several country, you think Ellen will be president? No. She will never be president. But you see what she's doing? As old as that old lady is, she stay inside. So all I can say, we saw the way the by-election went, right? Mm-hmm. The Liberian People said they're tired with Joe Weah. They also tired with CPP because they're forcing. They gave it to independent people based on what those independent people did in their community. Under our fundamental framework, you and I, we're doing what we're doing. Other people get the same right to do what they want to do. If Lieutenant Camara is selected or elected by the people of Akko, when they go to the pool, Liberian people will make that decision. But I don't think anybody can tell their friends that you're not supposed to be part of this. Let them go ahead. Let the Liberian people make the decision. Because they have the right to do so, they register the vote. We can provide them with the information about all the... How can somebody owe government for over 2.5 million and government is making business with that person? How can government be the one to prosecute people through the judicial system, but the very government is calling Chief Justice and other justices of the Supreme Court and telling them what to do? How you do that? How can the president have what? Executive protected service personnel within unaccounted to, and the guy got shot 2 times? Investigation is inconclusive. When are we going to get out of that?
But one more confusing is that the 3 boys and I got missing.
They say the phone song and I remains it look like them, but the parents said they're not them.
Yeah, but I was thinking that Simose will be held into contempt.
They're making business with the man. They are doing business with the man. Majority of the government probably go to Simose.
They keep your call coming out on 215-824-8124 or 267-938-2801. Well, I keep your call coming on so we can make this show you an interactive one. But you know, I wake up and I was listening to Spoon and then they were saying, JNB came in so old drivers.
That's fake propaganda.
But so keep your call coming out on 215-824-8124 or 267-938-2801. That is the number to call. I never knew that this phone was off, in fact. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So you're looking at 2023. What do you think?
I think 2023 JNB stand a better chance. He just need to set up a strategic team that will be very proactive and ready to go. I think for the last few months, especially with this CPP saga and all that, like Yuri said, leaders are born. Mm-hmm. If we were to compare JNB with the CDC surrogate and the ANC surrogate and their man, I mean, they have done some rallying around, going from other countries to other countries, and JNB just relies on his compound before he make this trip and see the number of people he pulled voluntarily, no paying for buses, nothing. Especially those town halls that were set up Philadelphia, Minnesota, Arizona, and New York. That's huge. That's huge. And according to statistics, every single person we find in America here, Liberians outside of Liberia, they are feeding up to 20 to 25 people in Liberia. Now, JNB not having support from his own boss that he served for almost 12 years before the election, 2017, and he came second. She was president. Right now, she's no more president. And looking at the gains that he made here in America, if he can build on that by setting up some robust and proactive strategic team in Liberia to get the ball rolling before even 2023, I think he got a better chance. And we'll get people will come in to join the team. That's all he needs to do. If we need to talk to the media, we need somebody that we can talk to. If we need to talk about, public policy, maybe the energy sector, we need somebody we need to talk to. Political parties are government in waiting. When you are a standard bearer of a political party, you need to get all these things in place even before the time, so that we will know exactly, and the media will know, the people abroad will know who to check on. I think that would be the next thing that the JNB team need to put together. I know we get a very strong team here in America when it comes to JNB, JNB supporter and all that stuff. They just need to get a structure, better, so that, we can have some kind of press release out there, or maybe like we do some appointment. With JNB need to be talked about now, and he need to talk about himself. He need to sell himself, because he already a brand. He need to sell himself out there. So I mean, this return, I think he need to put in place strategic team that will be able to answer all of those questions. We don't need to be waiting for 2023. We can start the ball rolling. Marketing is very, very key. There are so many information that people don't have right now about JNB, and they need to have it.
You talking about JNB need to be sold out. I agree with you on that. JNB is a brand. It's a brand that need to be sold to the consumers, which is the electors, which is the voters. But let me say this, and let me say it fairly clear. Who JNB will select as a VP has greater impact on him himself. What do I mean? If JNB does the same mistake that he did in 2017, I can assure you that JNB will be flawed. If JNB only made the same mistake by appointing a Nukwe, who come from a smallest county, I can assure you that JNB will be flocked again. But we don't want for JNB to be defeated. What do we want? We want for JNB to be able to select. I can name few individuals here tonight. You see, Lema Bowie. If JNB just grab Lema Bowie and make Lema Bowie his vice president, Lema Bowie have the international contact as JNB does. Lema Bowie know how to deal with Ellen Johnson as JNB may not be able to do. Lema Bowie, she know how to test the in and corners, the loops of the political loops. She know how to touching them. Another person that I am looking at, you know, when you appoint Lema Boy to serve as a vice president to you, you know, that is high class, highly international favor, highly favored by international community already. They need Lema Boy alone. He has been favored by the international community already. Then you, JNB, you have been favored. No, favor and luck, they're two different things. They may luck it, but the favor of God is on this man. They're two different things. So, I said, Lema Bowie, one of the person that I'm looking at, if JNB could say, okay, for some reason, I will deal with either Gongo way. That woman know how to touch. She know. I know that people will say, either Gongo way had lost elections in Nima County 2 times. Yeah. But you know what that will do in Nima? You know the factor that will play in Nima? The female factor, the Manon people factor, that alone will split Nima into 2. So it depends on who the vice president choose as a vice president. And you know, I listen to a lot of Facebookers. They are talking about Nyamlikanga Lawrence. That will be a political mistake for the vice president to be able to choose how do you call Nyamlikanga Lawrence. That will be a political mistake. Yeah. That will be a political mistake. Because there are many dips. Documentary that we have it on Nyomli. But we can't play it because we know that Nyomli she is buying sentiments when it comes to, you know, she and Musa Blete, you know, we are with her. We can't play you that clip. Nyomli had a lot of dirt on her that some of us know that we cannot release to the audience. So it will be a political, and that's what I told JNB in a meeting, in a one-on-one meeting. I told JNB, I said, look, if you choose your vice president, your choosing of your vice president, that one will make you to win the elections. If you choose Lema Bowie, you are giving a next time. Yeah.
But AB, you know, when it comes to VP, many people don't understand the international political / foreign policy system, especially under the new democratic framework. Key actors happen to be Americans and their allies. Our politics is actually super local, and I wouldn't want to call anybody name at this time because I've not done any research on certain people I would like to call. But I would prefer this time around that the vice presidential running may come from Nimba County, regardless of whatsoever. I don't care whether it is male or female, but they should come from Nimba County. This is a show, right? And Liberian people, your ticket or your ain't ticket. It is my right to say what I'm about to say. From 1822 all the way to today, it is just sad Like you said earlier, that we Liberians don't look at what happened between those quote-unquote elections. And the first election we had, for the most part, under the multi-party system was 1985, according to our political history. It was stolen by the regime. The second election was 1997 and coming toward this side. Because the first republic will also say one, so say all, the two-way party kind of system. And that's where Detroit and the other guys have some problem, and Detroit was manhandled, and he died in Sierra Leone, and they built Newtown High School, and they named it in his honor. That was kind of makeup for the indigenous black. But this is sure, we cannot continue to play the same game on the issue of political mainstream or political participation. What do I mean by that? Bigger counties with bigger population continue to sit there, and insignificant counties to produce presidency. Who making those significant counties? I'm not going to apologize to any of you, okay? To select or to bring forward political leaders to become president. For example, our part of the debate during the NTLA, the new threshold, North Dakota has one representative in Congress. 2 senators because of statehood, for example. When we went to war and we got by, even before the war, those counties that we call counties, they were not even counties. It was because of the same political corruption that got them to be counted in the first place. For example, River G was under Grand Jude as a territory. Bombing County today was never bombing, it was a territory. Grand Cayman County was saying, okay, hold it constant. The Buchanan County, the middle with the requirements, constitutional requirement, under the 1986 Constitution. Again, that very Constitution says you should have 28,000 people to get one representative. We came from war, we go back to constitutional rule. The people from the southeast, they conquered the debate in our NTLA parliament that all the smaller counties should get a base of 2, and then they go by the law. That's why I got all these smaller counties to get at least 3 representatives in our country. You know why? They are taking free money. Free money. How can you have 3 representatives in Grand Jude? How can you have 3 representatives in Grand Cru? How can you have 3 representatives in Bombing County where they don't have the required population as per the 1986 Constitution? But we did that, they say, out of accommodation. That was the language Blambo, Nelson, and Push over there when they were in there. But we argued it. And they have no business passing it. Now, bigger counties like Mosrado County that has everybody, Nimba County, Lofa County, Bon, Grand Bassa County, they follow the law. So we lost. We from bigger counties. This is the reasons why I, for one, I'm speaking for nobody, I'm speaking for myself. This time around, presidents should come from bigger counties, and we need to support our people. We need to support Nimba County, we need to support Bon County, we need to support Grand Bassa County. You know what? Even here in the great United States, representation is based on human beings. It ain't based on rivers, it ain't based on trees, it ain't based on animals. It's based on human beings. If you don't have people in Grand Cru, the number that's the number should be represented in our parliament. Free money, waste of resources. They did not even have a high school in Riverside County until Eddie came to power. How can you have a county you don't have a high school there? First graduate from elementary school over there, they got to come to Grand Bassa County to go to school. But that's a county. You know how many city Grand Cru have? Prior to today?
No.
You know? So they have over 75 cities. Almost every single town in Grand Cru was a city. And they had a city mayor. Another thing people forgotten to know, it is the issue of city mayor story. City mayor story, charade. Let me tell you today for free. You can go on your smartphone and download the Liberian Constitution, 1986 Constitution. Under that constitutional framework, all how do I call it? Chieftains say a municipal election should be conducted by the government of Liberia.
But they say that no money.
People have been sure that every president that comes in, including the late Samuel Doe, followed by Charles Taylor, because we elected him, forget about the transitional government, they all elect the city mayors for political reasons. They ain't got money, but they can buy private jet. They ain't got money, but they can buy Baptist seminary spot and build homes there for themselves. They ain't got money, they can put money in the mansion renovation project and go after that money and take it from the Lebanese people. They ain't got money, they can go for donor money at the Ministry of, now the Ministry of Finance, but at the central bank and take it from there. They say, oh, we always borrow. They ain't got no money, but they can print money to finance their own campaign, and they still lost that election. But they ain't got money. So the whole thing about the issue of city mayor, all that stuff, you go read the reform law about civil servant. All city mayors in our country should be elected. Chiefs should be elected. 10 chiefs, they should all be elected. It's written in the Constitution. But our government has refused to do it because of political ground, because of political incentive, because they want to control the people there. If you elect the city mayor of Monrovia today, World Bank come in and give money, EU come in and give money, and they don't do well, and then government of Liberia give budget to them. They do well after that 4 year or 5 year, whatever that time frame is, the people of Monrovia will put them out. But the power that in right now will not allow that. They make it to understand, or they make it to believe that city mayors are to be appointed. Directors are not even to be appointed by president. Like, for example, passport director. Those are civil servant positions.
I'm telling you.
Those are civil servant positions. But we following anything, and Liberian people, I mean, it's so sickening. All right? It's so embarrassing for our country today that you got people in government, they don't even, some of them know it, but they just decide not to even say anything about it. And this is just because of poor presidential leadership. And this one we got, I think no need to use the word poor. It doesn't exist. We really don't have a president. President go to climate conference. They come from the local general from EFBC, ask them. He thinking what he said there. That's the kind of president we got. It's a shame. Then they are masquerading with their proposed budget.
Now,
when I saw you on Facebook.
We'll discuss that because I edited were able to send me the budget. So
it's a charade. It's a charade.
We'll take upon ourselves to go through the budgets one day. We'll go through the president's, what they put in there for the president. We'll compare it with the past. We'll compare with Eden Johnson's leave and come to present. What are the difference? You know? Yeah. So yeah. So what much I do, I think we are at the verge of closing. We have come against our time. We are at the verge of closing, so let us be able to get your final word.
My final word, my people, we got to continue doing this and support us, follow us, and share our video.
And don't forget that we are indeed on YouTube. That we asking all of our followers for them to go on YouTube, for them to subscribe. We are on YouTube as well. We are there with Zay Abraham. We are on YouTube, so we are on Twitter. We are on a lot of media like let me see here. Yeah, go ahead.
So like I was saying, you know, my people, your supporter, and your biggest support you can offer us is to share. Is to share our conversation with your friends and ask your friends to share with their friends. The Liberator, we got to keep talking. We know things are not going like 5G or 7G kind of speed, but things are gradually improving in terms because of our conversation. Things are changing. We never knew about the budget. John Morume got to know about the budget. We did not know whether lawmakers were taking $30,000. Now we know that. All right, we didn't know that the president could sit at the executive mansion and just call the judiciary and they do what they want to do. Well, now we know that. So along we continue with this conversation, our country is going to change for the better. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be the after tomorrow. It's going to be a gradual process where we get there. America went through a lot. Sometimes people want to question us comparing our small country to America. But don't forget, look at the historical tie. The people that established our country came from this country. The conversation started during the 17th century, Paul Coffey and the rest of the guys. Okay? Our constitutional system, our public policy system, our school system, everything is like copied and paste. Okay? So that is the reasons why we always mention America. A majority of our people that led our country at the level of Commonwealth, at the level of the colonial system, at the level of the First Republic and the current Republic, including George Weah. He lived here in Europe for about 19-20 years before he went to Liberia. My people, we got good laws on the book, we got good policy. The applications of our policies are the problem. The way we apply the law, that is our problem. And all we got to do is we need to hold our public officials accountable. They do good, we should praise them. If they do ugly, we need to shame them and shame them all the way, not just by holding them accountable, but when we go to the ballot box, we change those people, including the president. Like the people did it in the by-election, and that's what we got to do. This is our part of contribution in addition to what we do for our respective family members and friends in Liberia by sending money. We all do that. So we want to say thank you very much for tonight. And stay safe and stay blessed. Share the video. Thank you very much.
Again, I want to thank you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't miss this show. This show is very, very much interesting. And for the fact that I have now my co-host, so we will make this show interactive, where at the time that you will have to place your call and you yourself, people need to hear you. Everything can be about writing. So sometimes it is good for our audience to be able to hear your voice. So on that note, we will tell you bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.